Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. Had a nice little week off, and unfortunately didn't talk for a solid week, which of course is good. But as you can see, it's about 11 o'clock here. Had a 2-hour daily brief this morning. I'm trying to make up for lost time. So, if you are interested, of course, pop on the site. Had a great conversation with our head site developer, Sjord, and what he sees in the market, and of course how the screening engine is coming along. And I have to say, I'm so pleased with what I see here. And of course, I think I talked to you guys quite a bit yesterday. Did a pretty big sales pitch. About the site and about the signaling system, stuff like that. Not really any new signals here generated today, so nothing really to get too excited about. But I have to say, I'm super pleased with what I'm seeing coming out of the site of late. So with that backdrop, unfortunately, breadth not overly happy. I think we probably are best just to let the dust settle, especially following that Coinbase IPO. I get the impression that that was a pretty darn big offering. So, as you can see, we're checking out Kathy Woods and what she's up to. So it doesn't surprise me that crypto's, kind of got to sort of clean itself up here a little bit. Fascinating to see how strong the stock market is. It's interesting, like Kevin, I think I was showing you, like he's super jazzed about things like the Russell 2000. I think the system, I think I showed you the other day, it sped up a buy signal on the Russell 2000. Look at it go there. So it's sort of like that breadth kind of thing. I get the impression, top end of the range, bottom end of the range. We're just sort of banging around in here, coming up against the top end of the range. A lot of crypto looks very similar, especially like things like DeFi right now. So let's see whether this has legs. If it does, then we'll probably see all our breadth indicators and stuff all turn back up. But for the time being, just sort of wait and watch mode. And, I'm from Missouri. So show me breakouts here, show me cleaned up breadth, and I'll get excited. In fact, I would probably say that the crypto market's probably closer to a breakout than the big sort of senior stock market. Just because the slow moving average now has worked its way back down. So this is actually a lot healthier than the US stock market, especially with the still sloping kind of upward there. This still could get a little bit of a punch in the nose here. So now that crypto is sort of rolled over here, and actually we might even be able to show you this. This is so cool. The bullish percentage. Yeah, so this is what I was kind of hoping we'd see. So you can see the smatterings of the bottom starting to form already. If this goes and W's out, and we start getting some bullish signals out of things like DeFi and Ethereum and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised if this actually turns up and we start our next sort of leg higher. Is it making money in Bitcoin? I don't know. I think there are probably better fish to fry in this space. Probably, ironically enough, probably easier money to be made. But let's just maybe concentrate on this screen. Actually, not this one. On this screen. I think this is the one we want to like. Yeah, there we are. So U.S. dollar index still continuing its recent consolidation off of this big honkin' rally. I think I told you guys I'm long like 2022 puts. It's not really in a huge hurry to do anything here. And ironically enough, like through this phase right here, I was like, just don't touch this trade, Brian. Leave it alone. Well, hindsight's 2020, eh? Because it's a 2022 option, I don't really care. But, could I have gone and sold it there and bought it back? Hindsight's always 2020. I suppose so, but still very comfortable just sitting in these calls. The one market that's driving me crazy is this Canadian dollar. I can't figure it out. Doesn't make any sense, but it just keeps marching higher. But probably not the focus of our conversation with you guys here today. That risk on vote. It's interesting how breadth not really overly happy, but they're just keep trying to push this market higher, push it higher. Russell 2000 was spitting out a little bit of a buy signal there, right? And our crypto breadth indicator starting to, slowly turn back up here. Jesus, look at the shit perp. Woohoo! So you can see that bullish percentage I showed you. You can see that's probably going to fire here. So keep in mind, this is like as of yesterday. As soon as this data updates at the end of the day, my hunch is you're probably going to get a W there. So I don't know. I guess risk on still catching a bid here. I guess the way I would look at it is just this is awfully nosebleedy. But there were a number of stocks like the pot sector. It's actually starting to look really attractive again. We were actually going through screener how to build setups and screeners and stuff, and I thought it was hilarious that the screener that I'm not quite sure how I see it from here. I don't know whether I can just go here, but the screener that we built through the daily brief, just as a demonstration, it spat up a buy signal on this ACB. I don't know whether I can actually get it from here or not. This might cause the system to crash. Yeah, because it's still looking at that signal that was generated the other day. So actually, that's a good question for Stuart. Is how do we pull up a screener just on its own? So like if I just go pull up that and type in ACB, does that work? I don't know whether it works or not. Survey says no. I guess not. Still a work in progress, but that's okay. Nothing to do on this ADA. Anyway, we'll go back on over to that old-fashioned trading view site and show you that there. So the system spat up this ACB as a buy. And I think actually it was even on the Canadian market. Look at that chart. Gee whiz. So there are places in the marketplace that definitely have my attention. This is a really cool one because you can see that just worked its way back into a reload zone. Probably heard that from the Beamish before. And look at a little W trying to come in here. And it was interesting because this is a signal that the system spat up as a buy signal. And then as we were talking away, one of our OGs was like, well, that's interesting because I just went and bought some call options on this stock because it represented, a TRISOF trade, secret options formula, where all we're going to do is look for a 50% retracement of the most recent range. And the good part about this guy here is, I think you can make the argument, we worked our way back down into reload zones. So, this is everything that we teach at TRI. So probably odds are pretty good chance we're going to bounce up into $40, $41, $42 area. Notice too, gee whiz, that's a bit of a gap up there. Yeah, that's all open air. At some point the market will want to fill that in. So Grim was telling us today that the $20 calls are about $4 right now for like a January leap. And he was saying, I mean, you do the math. At $40, that option's going to be worth like $20. $4 to $20? Sounds awfully attractive to a guy like me. So there are these kind of individual stories out there. And interestingly enough, within the crypto space, I think there are a lot of individual cryptocurrency stories that also look very similar to that Tilray kind of pot stock kind of story. So there are some areas. Interesting how Russell 2000 here relative to the S&Ps. It is trying to outperform. And remember I showed you, I think yesterday on the video I showed you that IWM on my system spat up a buy signal. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Oh, that's interesting. So they're even telling you that this data is a little suspect here. But nonetheless, you know, I mean, there's the W. It's working its way up here. So small caps look like they're trying to catch a bid here. Oil, sort of stuck in the mud. Actually, I get a lot of that from commodities. They've been bid up, but now they're just sort of treading water right now. Same thing with the bonds. Mr. Biden's over there. I think it's in Europe. It might be in Asia. I'm not sure. One of these environmental conferences saying, we're going to be green, damn it, whether it kills us. I don't know. I suppose half of what he's doing right now is just trying to sort of get the government back to the days of what Obama looked like after, you know who, sort of came in and tinkered with things, we'll say. So, I do believe that that's casting a little bit of a pale over things like commodities. Because keep in mind, commodities are old, dirty, not very clean friendly. We'll see how that goes. I did notice the gold stocks themselves actually started to come back down to earth a little bit. So, let's see, where can we show you that? Over here somewhere. Yeah, that one there. I don't mind the idea of, you know, now that the sort of the initial trade is over, so I'm going to have to sort of look at this a little bit more carefully. But I don't mind the idea, if I can just find the damn list. I thought I had it right here. Oh, where are you? No, 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 no. Where did I put my big gold stocks? Maybe down here. There we are. I don't mind the idea of coming in on the big gold names, but gee whiz, they had an awfully large rally there. I'd be a little bit careful now on the pullback here. And I'd probably want to see like an inside bar or something like that, because I've been noticing, you know, is this trade now over? We've rallied back into resistance. You know, guys who actually wanted a short off of this M just got their trade level there. I mean, I'm kind of kicking myself I didn't get in on this trade, because there was a really nice profit there, and the options have already moved up quite a bit. So I'm enthusiastic, but I'm skeptical now. So I have to see some sort of turn in here to get in on this thing. And the oil, oh Jesus, does that look like a double bottom trying to come in on big oil proxies? This is an oil proxy that I have warrants on. Again, is that a double bottom trying to come in here? And the oil, you know, like I think to a certain degree it's being sat on a little bit because of the environmental conference stuff. But I get the distinct impression that oil wants to head back up here. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Only time will tell. So, you know, what do you make out of this market? I'm in sort of wait and see mode on crypto, you know, especially things like Bitcoin. I like the idea that Bitcoin is enjoying a bit of a dead cat bounce right now. So that's this image. What was really cool was yesterday I commented about this specific level in the broiler chicken show. I thought that they were going to trade it back into the Tuesday, Wednesday London kill zone to set up a bottom, but actually they did it yesterday. I mean, literally hours after I had finished the video. Boom, right into that level. Ran stops and then quickly launched it out of there. I mean, it's just absolutely textbook. What was really interesting about this, of course, I've been squawking about this descending wedge here. This was a classic, and then we went after the stops. Notice the original bottom here. So they were kind of monkeying around with it. I thought that they weren't done sort of monkeying around, so indeed they had one more stop run. Then the market just stopped and just launched higher, and gee whiz, look where we stopped. So I thought this was interesting here today, that I like the idea of a continuation down into the U.S. tax filing deadline, 15th of May, A, B, C, D kind of thing. I like that thinking. I also like this idea that what once was resistance turns into support, turns into resistance, turns into support, turns into resistance. And of course you got all of these highs here. And when we look at the profile, what's really interesting about this is you can see the POC is the 50% rule. This is sort of this idea that really this is nothing more than a trading range market. So dead cat bounce below value. And actually, if we just look at this range, check out this profile. It's so cool. So I used to work with a guy named John Hoagland over at Top Step, total pro, 30, 40-year veteran. And he loves his value trade. So, dump down here where we're going to accept back below value. Sellers just didn't show up. They quickly jackknifed it back above this node here. And this is what I would call the claw, where this is like a crab claw. Of course, I'm terrible at drawing something like that. Yep, terrible. So anyway, we're stuck in the claw. Geez, I can try and do a little better than that. Think like Pac-Man, right? There we go. That's a little better. So we're stuck in the claw right now. Nom, nom, nom. And my hunch is we got a battle. And probably the end of this image, you're going to see that this all looks filled in. They might have to take it up top here into reload short zones. That wouldn't surprise me. And fill this little muak in up here. But ultimately, this profile is empty. It needs a lot of work. And really, we'll know that this market is ready to move to a new level. It's accepted this, and we're ready to go when all of this profile all looks filled in. And ideally, actually, the profile wants to look like a parabola. And you can see where the POC is. My hunch is, we've talked about this before, 55,000. I actually like the idea now that the trading range, top of the range 65,000, bottom of the range 45,000. Mr. Willie Woo called the bottom there at 40 G's. I don't think the market's going down there anytime soon. First, it's got to rally up, sucker some more people in, and then dump into that May tax deadline, fill in Mr. Willie Woo, probably a big FU move, and then get ready to go if it really is going to go. So right now, dead cat bounce, trading range, probably look for some resistance up in this traffic area previously, and then let's see what happens. So, there's your Bitcoin summary. Interestingly enough, I don't think this market is about Bitcoin. It's all about this guy and DeFi and Ethereum. And what's really interesting is if you go through the crypto screen, look at this. I mean, it's all green. Look at 45% move on waves today. This is the definition of the shitcoin market. This is what it'll look like. And the irony of it all is that the shitcoins will do well when Bitcoin, it jumps up and just sort of parks itself in a range. And that's what I think's happening here. There's a hell of a lot of green on this screen. Look at this, like it's 25% move on this KSM. I mean, if anything, what a great analogy. Don't chase. Is it still maybe a bit early to call a bottom here? I think so. Remember that May 15th U.S. tax deadline? Could we maybe do something like this? I would love to see that. That would be great. But dead cat bounce, again, sort of same thing as Bitcoin. A lot of these names, dead cat bounce. Cleaning up. We had that massive stock market issue. So they're just basically cleaning the market up. I noticed this dot was down. Well, actually, it's not really that great. Yeah. I think I said publicly yesterday, did a bunch of buying in the crypto space while I was gone, stink bids. In fact, actually, I got a fun challenge, and this is what I'm sort of joking with the site people over the next probably 6 months. This is where I think the fortunes will be made. And of course, everybody hates this stuff. It's garbage. It's yesterday's story. These are dead names. You'll never make money in this. Tell me that? Great. I'll go and buy it. So, these are monthly price charts. Put out a tweet. The problem with, trading, of course, is when these things are putting in monthly bottoms, nobody is the slightest bit interested in them. But, here's a great example. Monthly bottom, there's a breakout. Came in basically the end of last year, and boom, there's the other side of what monthly W's often look like. So, I don't know. Want to make some money from trading? It's up to you. I'm definitely interested, and I've done some buying. I've got a fun little challenge on the site. The what do we call it? The shitcoin 5,000 challenge or something like that. So we're gonna have fun following this over the next 4 to 6 months. See whether we would outperform the market by buying these things. Yeah, here it is. We'll take 0.1 BTC, 5,000 bucks roughly. We'll sprinkle it over the next few months into a bunch of these names. You can see some of them I've already bought. In fact, this one I've already bought and it's already doubled. So I don't know whether I can use that one. But this is sort of my bottom list, the absolute crap over on Trex. And I'll take 0.1 BTC. Hell, I took 0.2 BTC out of that Doge the other day. So we'll just call this Doge profits. Well, let's have some fun. So anyway, I was squawking about this on the site and on social media here earlier today. This will be a fun experiment just to show you. Is there any money to be made on these absolute pieces of crap? Well, I guess we're going to find out, eh? And would it have been better to trade these pieces of crap, or would it have been better just to leave your Bitcoin in Bitcoin? And I already know what the answer is, but let's take the next few months and let's show you why I like trading these shitcoins so much. Okay, so that's sort of your presentation for today. Nothing really earth-shattering. Lots of consolidation. Still seeing trend continuation for risk heading higher. And more sort of like dead cat bouncing crypto. I'm surprised at how strong the U.S. stock market continues to be. Interesting to see whether we get any selling into that May tax deadline. Yeah. If anything, what I really like is use this sort of May tax deadline as that sort of pullbacks or buying opportunities. I love that thinking in here. So anyway, there you go. Merry Christmas. Oh, and by the way, if you want some help trying to set up your trading plan, get you pointed in a good direction to attack this market, run things like the shitcoin 5,000 plan, and understand what the hell it is you're doing, well, then we've got a new school term coming up here in May to teach you this thing called the process and get you set up running your small business of trading. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Probably have a big sort of marketing campaign here from David over the next couple weeks. And maybe we'll even do a raffle or something along those lines and see if we can generate some positive karma with you public folk as well. So, all right, have yourselves a great day. All the best, and bye for now.